We have very bad laws for our border, and we are going to be doing some things. I've been speaking with General Mattis. We're going to be doing things militarily. Until we can have a wall and proper security, we're going to be guarding our border with the military.
Well, President Trump making waves yesterday, announcing that he wants the military to guard our southern border until the wall is finished. Well, the White House releasing this statement on the president's plan. It says he received a follow-up briefing to discuss his administration's strategy, which includes the mobilization of the National Guard. Dr. Kelli Ward is a Republican candidate for the U.S. Senate in Arizona, and she joins us now to talk some more about this. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, Heather. Thanks for having me.
So the obvious question, do you think that this is a good idea?
I do. As a military wife myself, my husband served in the military for 33 years, a lot of that in the Arizona Air National Guard, go Copperheads. And the National Guard is very well prepared for this mission. They've been doing it in other countries for decades. And we have got to do something to stop people from getting into our country illegally. It's been detrimental to our economy. It's been detrimental to health care, education, public safety, corrections. We've got to secure the border, and that means building the wall. But until we build the wall, I think this is a great option.
Well, and I know that you know this firsthand because you've been down to the border a couple times. I wanted to ask you specifically, I was looking at some of the pictures and things from a visit with Jim Chilton. He has a cattle ranch down there. There he is. Tell us about that visit.
You know, Mr. Chilton is amazing. He has a ranch that's about 55,000 acres, and 25 miles of his ranch is right up against Mexico. He took me down to the border a couple of weeks ago, and we're supposed to believe that the 4 flimsy strands of barbed wire that are down there between Mexico and the United States are supposed to protect our border from the traffickers.
And that's 25 miles of that barbed wire fence, right? And he was able to go right underneath it and stand on the other side.
He was. And it's very easy for people to come across that border, people who are bringing drugs, illegal guns, human trafficking. The things that the people who are trafficked are subjected to are appalling. And so we've got to build the wall. We've got to support President Trump in his efforts to build the wall. We can't be talking about trust funds to do it. We have to actually fund the wall and then construct it.
Some other things that the president has talked about. He talked about making amnesty claims more difficult, ending protections for children arriving without parents. You were talking about that, and then allowing families to be detained longer. Yeah, we have to do something. He's exactly right whenever he talks about other countries having very strong immigration laws and our country not being as strong as we should. We've got to end the policy of catch and release. That's been very detrimental because if someone manages to get 1 foot into the United States, our regulations and our policies require that they are detained and then released and expected to come back in years for a court date, and most of them do not return, which is unacceptable. Now, one of the areas specifically going back to the military guarding the border, where the Pentagon says that they could contribute, would be the Air Force's Barry Goldwater live fire range, and that's in southern Arizona?
Yes. Yeah, you know, I think that strategically deploying the National Guard or the military to secure the border, especially utilizing cooperative states like Arizona and Texas for that National Guard presence, you could, you know, move the Border Patrol to California and New Mexico if they aren't being as cooperative with the president in his effort to secure the border. So there's a lot we can do. And I can tell you, I have a Twitter poll up and a Facebook poll up at Kelli Ward AZ on Twitter and Facebook. Thousands of people have voted, and it's overwhelmingly in support of utilizing the military to secure our border.
Yeah, speaking of voting, a big issue moving forward towards the midterms. You are running against Arizona Congresswoman Martha McSally, and one of your tweets, I think that you talked about her being a flip-flopper on the immigration issue.
Yes, and she has gone back and forth. Before, she was for amnesty. She's voted 9 times for amnesty, at least. And since she's running for office, she's become a campaign conservative. We're kind of used to that in Arizona. We saw it with Senator McCain. We saw it with Senator Flake. People are really tired of that brand of politics. They want a reliable conservative in the United States Senate from our state, and I look forward to getting there and serving the people.
All right, hoping to replace retiring Senator Flake. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Ward. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Heather.
Have a good